Hey everybody, welcome to another video. So in this video you're going to be watching me repairing a Xbox One X which I purchased off eBay for £50 plus £10 postage. The reason that I bought this is because I had a console go missing that belonged to a customer, and unfortunately because I'm responsible for it until the customer gets it back, rather than the customer waiting to deal with Royal Mail, I've replaced the console for him. So I bought this console in the hopes to get it working so as I could replace it quicker, because I didn't have any working boards. So rather than paying full price for a console, I thought I'd try and offset a little bit of that cost by buying one faulty. So the console I bought as faulty was basically turning on, but the sync button and the front USB were missing, and the traces that connected those to the board were also damaged. I did originally jump the gun. When I first powered this on, I attempted to power it on and it wouldn't turn on, and I contacted the seller and I was honest and I said, look, I've just purchased this. It was supposed to be a no power. It was supposed to be the USB port and sync button issue, and it's got no power. And I jumped the gun. I was working on a power supply the day before, or the night before rather, and that was the first console I'd tried to repair yesterday, which needed the IEC C7 cable, you know, the little figure of 8 infinity cable, whatever you call it. It was the first job that I'd done that day that needed that cable, and unfortunately the power supply had blown my fuse. So I didn't know that, obviously. So when I tested the cable after I'd messaged the seller, I realised that the fuse had blown and I had to change the fuse. So I did message the seller back and I basically said, I'm really sorry, I've made a big mistake, please disregard the last message. And then I just explained the situation, and it turns out he's actually a viewer. So a big thank you to that seller for understanding. I really do genuinely appreciate it. Obviously, when I've purchased stuff in the past and it's been a case where it's not as described, the sellers have usually been really arsey with me. They've usually been really funny and, oh no, it's solder seam, blah blah blah, even though it's clearly a scam. And you kind of get into that mindset where you just automatically assume other people are a scam. So to that seller, I am very sorry, genuinely. I even offered to give him his game back, which Cricket 19, that was in the console. And I said, look, if you want me to send that game back, I'll send it back to you. I wouldn't normally, but I felt bad, and I did genuinely feel bad. So yeah, so we're going to jump into this. I'm not going to go through all of that process, but we're going to jump into it at the point where I actually attempted to power on the console for the first time. So with that being said, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy this type of content, my name is The Coder. I'm an electronic repair technician. I'm a messy electronic repair technician, but I am still an electronic repair technician. But I also teach people how to do that on YouTube as well. So basically, I teach you how to do my job. So if you do enjoy that type of content, I would really appreciate it if you get subscribed and turn on the bell notifications. That way you don't miss any future videos. If you do want to support me, you can check me out over on Twitch. You can become a Twitch Prime subscriber by linking an Amazon Prime account to Twitch, and then that way you can support me absolutely free. All it costs is a little bit of your time every month. And if you are also a existing Twitch Prime subscriber, then be sure to check that out once a month just to, renew it, because it doesn't automatically renew, and I would really appreciate that. It does massively help me out. It allows me to continue making videos and do what I love doing, which is ultimately building a community and teaching people how to fix their own stuff. So with that being said, let's get into the video. This video probably still would have been here without today's sponsor, but hey, it's time to show something, right? So here goes. Here at The Coder Productions, we love nothing more than to take as much money from you, the viewer, as we possibly can, which is why we're proud to talk to you about consolefix.shop, a great place for you to spend your hard-earned cash. I mean, yeah, fair enough, you get parts and supplies that help you fix things, but you've got to give me some money in return. Nothing in life's free, and if you pay me for it, you might appreciate it more. Or not, hey, I'm not judging. With that being said, we do have some pretty cool stuff on the shelves, including power supplies, HDMI ports, charging chips, MOSFETs, and whatever else you can think of that'll give you the illusion that you're getting a good deal. So head on over to the online store by clicking on the link in the video description, and if there's one thing I can guarantee, is that there will be a way for me to take your money. Console Fix, your friendly money grabbing YouTuber. Right, okay, well it's turning on. Let's check the HDMI. Just make sure it displays before I do anything else. Oh, that port is solid as well. That's nice. Hey, there we go. yeah, it does. Good stuff. So yeah, that turns on and displays. So the actual Xbox is working. We just need to fix that sync connector on the board and then replace the actual connector as well. So I'm kind of glad that this one does actually turn on, because I actually need to replace an Xbox One X for someone, because one's gone missing in the mail, and I don't want the customer to end up having to wait for a insurance claim. Even though his was faulty, I'm going to be sending him a working one. So I'm kind of glad that this does actually turn on. Saves me finding a board out that works. I have got some, but just finding them. So I'll make the money back by making a video, and then I'll get a compensation claim as well. And then I'll just give this to the customer. So yeah, the thing with any business really, it's not about whether you lose money on one transaction, it's about like the grand scheme of it. Like, you can't go transaction by transaction, because otherwise you'll never run a successful business if you do. It's all about, did I make a profit this month, or did I make a profit this quarter? You know, not, oh shit, I've just lost 50 quid, or oh shit, I've just lost 100 quid. It doesn't matter. The main point is making a profit long term. So yeah, the customer who I need to replace one for, his console I couldn't actually fix. It was a disk drive issue, and I think the ARM chip had failed on it, but I'll still replace it with a working console. Because again, if you, like, let's say for example I damaged the console and I couldn't fix it anyway, I can't phone the customer up and say, oh, I can't fix your console unfortunately, but by the way, I've damaged it, I owe you a faulty console. It don't work like that, does it? That's real hot wired. Pretty much, mate, yeah. No, it's so I can charge it on the bench supply. I'll just put some, I'll just connect it directly up to the DC jack, because it runs off a 5-volt USB anyway. Well, it's DC jack this side and then USB on the actual cable that comes with it, but I'll just put a thingy on it to, yeah. Right, someone's broke the connector, but it does still connect, so it's fine. It's had a replacement hard drive. Interesting. So that's probably failed at some point. Ooh. Oh dear. Oh dear. That is not good. That is pretty badly damaged. How does one do that? Someone was impatient, I agree. Right, let's see if we can clean this up. More damage to that than my mental state. Let me just grab some tweezers a second. It's not burnt, it's just a little bit rough. Let's try and straighten that one out. Okay, I'm going to grab a donor board a sec so I can just look at this and see where they're meant to go. See if I can trace them out. The second one goes to this wire up here, and the third one goes to that wire down there. Fourth one to there. Fifth one to there. Sixth one to there. Right, let me just clean up. Use the schematics. Nah, I don't need to, mate. Why are you out of focus? Right. I'm trying to work out what the deal is with that. Is that going to that wire, or is it going to that pad there? It's really hard to tell what the deal is with that, like what's actually going on with it. I think that's another layer. But I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if that wire is going to be shorted to that layer or not, and I don't know if it's meant to be either. Yeah, it's short. Fuck. Let me have a look. Which one is that? It's number 4. Is it meant to be ground? No. I'm not going to be able to restore that trace. Hang on, is it meant to be ground? That looks like it's going all the way through. So where is that wire then for that one? Because I was getting an ohms reading on the other one. It's meant to be ground. Sat there grinding for nothing. Alright, whatever. I'm losing the plot. We were yelling at the screen, was ya? Didn't see ya. I'm a bit of a shit streamer, you see. You know what I am going to do before I do anything? Yeah, scroll up on chat. I'm too lazy for that though, to be honest. I'm just going to completely coat that, because otherwise it's going to short out on the other jumper wires and I don't want that. So, just completely get rid of that. Just leave it to cure for a minute. You're doing well tonight. Ha! Philly's the worst streamer. You're mean. I'm telling my mum. You know I'm only messing with you. Oh, look, Ellis loves me again. Yeah, it's because the kittens can get around now. You know you're in the shit when the missus backs up chat. Yeah. There's no need at all. So uncool. Let's continue on this quest, shall we? I'll start off with these jumper wires on this side then. Right, there's one. Just grab my tweezers. I'm just going to spin the board round a second. There's one. Right, number 2. So that's why I put that conformal coat in there, because I've got a crossover for this jumper wire here. So I just have to be careful that I'm not going to cause a short between there and ground. Damn you. There's that one. A little bit of a solder blob just here. Doesn't matter where, I just want to put a solder blob there so I can run a wire to ground. I'll clean this burnt flux up in a second. There we go. Right, I think that's correct for them. Alright, I'm just spin the board round again just so as it's easier to work with. I'll turn it round that way. Might be better off turning it round again actually, bear with me. There we go. By the way, I'm leaving a bit of an overhang on these wires just so as I can get to the actual wire when the connector's on top of them. Right, okay, all of those pins, they look like they're in continuity with each other. So because there's still some pads there, as long as they're all in continuity with each other, realistically I can bridge them. Yeah, they're all connected together. You're not ground, don't lie to me. Yeah, I can just bridge all of them. That's it then. That's all I need to do. So if I just clean this up. Yeah, there we go. That should work. Just grab some coating. If you give me a second, guys, I'll shut the door so we don't hear that washing machine as much. Alright, that should be good. Maybe a little bit more there. Yeah, that's fine. That should be alright. Right, let's blind everyone with that. Leave that for a couple of minutes. Right. Should be good with that. Yep. Yep, looks good. Yeah, they're all nice and solid, so I can pretty much just drop a connector on there now and it should be fine. Keyword there is should. So let me just grab a donor board because I haven't got any of these in stock. That was 0.1mm jumper wire, by the way. Hover the board over the edge of the table. Right, I'm going to heat up from underneath the board. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, so these missing pads, this one don't matter because there's two more. There's one on each side. So that missing pad don't matter. I should have probably mentioned that. But then these three missing pads here is where they're all ground. So I can just bridge those. Right. So yeah. So that's why there's still some missing pads there. Let me just melt this flux. There you go. Yep, those pins look good. Trying to line it up so it was right first time. Still jumped out of the way. Right, I'll come in manually and touch those pins up because I don't really want to be heating the board up for that long. Wow, that's definitely not soldered, is it? Right, let me just clean that up quickly and I'll test all the pins in diode mode. Damn it, it's out of focus. Sorry you guys. We're going to bridge on the other side of that, but I think they're both ground, so if it is, then I'm going to ignore it. Yeah, that's ground, both of them. I'm not bothered. I'm going to ignore them. In fact, I was going to bridge them anyway, so stuff it. Ha! You can't even see it. Yeah, they're both ground, so I'm not bothered. Let's just get it back on the table. Yeah, those are both ground. If you take a look and see, greetings from Germany. Guten Abend. How are you? I'll test them in diode mode. If I test them with the multimeter, sorry, if I test them with tweezers, I could be pressing down on the pin. I'm getting 1.48 there. That's connected. That's not, but that's ground anyway. And that one. That one's coming up open, but that's connected on that side anyway. .75, so too high for a beep, but it is connected, same as that one. .72, so again too high for a beep, but it is connected. Yeah, they're all connected. I've got a contact on every pin. Well, every pin that matters. So, yeah, good stuff. I'm happy. Oh, I can't actually speak German, mate. That's all I know. Sorry. Yeah, I can't actually speak German. My apologies. I just like to sound clever by saying Guten Abend, or Guten Morgen, or Guten Tag. That's all I know in German. Let's put the right amount of thermal paste on it. I'll just put one of these screws in to hold the power supply in. Even though that was the wrong screw, but never mind. What cable is that? Amphenol. Ugh, no. That ain't staying in. That Amphenol cable is not staying in. Because Amphenol suck and they always fail. So I'm going to take preventative measures and change it now. Because those cables are poop. Bye bye. So the Amphenol ones always fail. So basically what happens is after a little bit of time they end up with like a micro fracture in the bend. So I always change them because I don't like to leave the Amphenol ones in there. Didn't put them screws back in the hard drive. There we go. Yeah, there's no LED working on that. So I'm going to have to grab a front panel. The LED's not working at all. Okay. That's because the pin's bent. Of course it is. Of course the pin's bent. I'll do it under the scope. I should have looked at that first. I'll do it under the scope so you guys can see. Right, let's give that a try, shall we? Now we've got a light. On day 2 I said let there be light. Haha, I am God. The light can be turned off in settings. It can, but not many people know that, so that's why it's very unlikely that the light was turned off. It's all good, it's working now. Got to wait for it to boot before it'll attempt to sync anyway. Ha! I've just put it in safe mode. Yep, there you go. It's working. USB tester. There. Stop flashing me. Communicating with USB. Good. Yep, lights up green. Perfect. Cool, that'll do. Right, let me let that boot up. I'm gonna connect it to HDMI. There we go. Bye, Lee. Thanks, Lee. Cheers for your console, Lee. That seems to be working. No notification saying that it's been banned or anything. Good stuff. That's all good. It syncs a controller. Wi-Fi works. Disk drive works. You know what? I've left the disk in there, haven't I? Get out. Thank you. Yeah, so this I'm not going to be able to sell because I had a customer's console go missing a few weeks ago, and unfortunately I've got to send this to him. Even though his console didn't work, I'm going to do the right thing by him and just send him a working console tomorrow. So yeah, that'll go out to him in the morning. I have got other working consoles, but I had this one, I bought it, so obviously I'm going to lose money on this, but as I said earlier on, it's not about short-term profits, it's about, you know, do you do right by your customers and do you earn money long term? That's the main thing. So yeah, happy days.